Speaking of not feeling a sense of patriotism in my heart, I'm going to show you two things. This is a 1 minute and 25 second Shanghai evolution from 1978 to 2019, a time lapse. Okay. This is part of the reason why Chinese people do feel patriotic. Okay. Here. Let's take a look at this. And then I'll show you why, even though patriotism isn't for me necessarily, this makes it extra hard to feel any kind of patriotic about the United States of America. You feel me? Does that make you understand? Nah, bro, this is propaganda. I know. Okay, but have you considered watching this with scary music instead of hopeful music? True. Once again, doing propaganda. It's just the work speaks for itself, right? It's just undeniable. You cannot argue with results. And that is the problem. Hasan is a member of the Communist Youth League. I recommend you visit the site of the First National Congress of the Communist Party of China. It's of great historical significance. Yes. I wanted to. I was supposed to today, but they said we can't stream it, I don't think. Let's talk about why it's increasingly more difficult to feel patriotic about America now that we're on that subject.
Another November day outside the U.S. Capitol. Inside, there was business unusual.
This just doesn't make sense.
A big story just got bigger, with fresh revelations on the Epstein affair. Yet more notes on a scandal. Yet again, they cite the president. In Jeffrey Epstein emails released by the House Oversight Committee. One from 2011 to his co-accused Ghislaine Maxwell reads, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. A victim, name redacted, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." Ghislaine Maxwell replied, "I have been thinking about that." Epstein emailed the writer Michael Wolff.
By the way, another side of this Epstein saga that is not getting a lot of coverage is the unimaginable amount of media and investigative reporting that has come out surrounding the unimaginable amount of media that has come out from Drop Site News that shows, in my opinion, conclusively that Jeffrey Epstein is or was most likely an asset for the Israeli state. And I know that that is like a no shit situation for many. You're gonna be like, oh, really? No shit, duh, right? Sure. Every other week, there is another article that comes out from Dropsite that's like, Jeffrey Epstein was in Kazakhstan ordering Israeli surveillance technology for Kazakhstan. Like, it's crazy. I keep reading them over and over again, but it's strange to me at this point that we do not actually cover it at all in our media. Hold on. An example from the newly released file showing how consultants sought to influence Google search results, buying articles about Jeffrey Epstein being a billionaire pedophile or having a diary of his underage victims, and then boosting articles about his philanthropy. But also, in addition to helping, this is what I was talking about. In addition to helping broker deals between Israel and Mongolia, Russia, and the Ivory Coast. Epstein had a senior Israeli intelligence officer with personal ties to former CIA director Leon Panetta live at his apartment for weeks-long stretches between 2013 and 2016. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this is one of the most obvious Israel-aligned pedophile, sex trafficking, blackmail networks out there. Why the fuck was this guy traveling to fucking Mongolia, or even talking about like hiring Mossad, former Mossad and former IDF agents for security details for like anti-government business leaders in China at the time? This is before like Xi cracked down on corruption, right? Like, he was having these conversations with Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. You don't have these sorts of fucking conversations unless you are a direct contractor or a direct operative for Mossad. Like, you know how we talk about China trade maxes? Jeffrey Epstein was power broker maxing, I guess. He just had, that was his kink. Aside from the pedophilia, the other thing he was doing all the time was just like brokering deals. He just couldn't stop himself. I guess that's what it was. You know? Pedophilia and brokering deals. That's what it is. Demanding meetings with Putin rather than his envoy. Yeah, it's just like it's so transparent, and it's crazy that it's always just like Drop Site or Intercept or Democracy Now. All of these other friends of the show and outlets that are outside of like legacy papers that are publishing this kind of stuff. And I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. Like, how much longer can you avoid talking about this part? Because Americans see it, right? They see it. They recognize what's going on here. Jeffrey Epstein to U.S. Special Envoy to Syria, Tom Barak, who is another favorite character on this show. You guys know who he is. He's the one who was like, yeah, Hezbollah has no incentive to disarm, but what the fuck can they do about it? We will destroy them. Borders are meaningless. What is important is what Israel wants in terms of borders. Like, this is what the fucking Special Envoy to Syria and Lebanon, Tom Barak, was saying over and over again. Anyway, here's a fucking email between Jeffrey Epstein and Special Envoy, Donald Trump's U.S. Special Envoy to Syria, Tom Barak. Jeffrey Epstein, in 2016, sends an email to Tom Barak saying, send photos of you and child, make me smile. To which Felix says, well, yes, this does seem nauseating, but it's not like Trump has this guy working on places that have outsized amounts of orphans and other children that cannot be accounted for. This is the type of shit that makes even someone like myself, who is a heavy scrutinizer of conspiratorial narratives, even though I am obviously an enjoyer of conspiracies, I'm very critical of conspiratorial thinking. But when I see stuff like this, and then I see the media refuse to cover it, or the media just like never entertain this stuff, I think to myself, okay, what are we doing here? Like, am I becoming increasingly crazy? Why is there not enough coverage on this stuff? What the hell is going on? Especially because it's not like the media is fond of Donald Trump. This is a great line of attack for Donald Trump. You know, a uniquely unpopular and despotic leader that is moving America in the direction of fascism. Why the fuck is the New York Times not all over this shit? You know? Click translate on this. Gustavo Petro went beast mode. First of all, went beast mode. There's never a moment where he's not doing beast mode. Gustavo Petro says a clan of pedophiles wanted to end democracy in Colombia and to keep the list Epstein from coming out. And they sent battleships to kill fishermen from this city. And they threatened the neighbor. How is the people of Colombia going to applaud the invasion of the people of Venezuela? Would we be such traitors and sellouts to our own people? President Petro Gustavo, one of my favorites. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, one of my faves. He's always going fucking beast mode, dude. He is the GOAT. I love him. Like, this is the type of leader that the foreign adversary, the scary socialist communist countries would immediately identify as a ally, an ideological ally that's willing to demonstrate sovereignty for Latin American peoples, for Latin American countries in general. Oh, this is the other one. New leaked emails show that Jeffrey Epstein helped arrange talks between the Israeli government, Côte d'Ivoire, how do you say it? Ivory Coast, that culminated in the signing of a formal defense agreement in 2014. Epstein made introductions and held meetings before Ivorian leaders and Israeli intelligence link firms, Cote d'Ivoire, and Israeli intelligence link firms and individuals that helped lay the groundwork for the deal to help flood the Ivory Coast with Israeli surveillance tech. This is the latest entry in a series of stories about Epstein's links to the intelligence world, including in Africa. Link in next post. So there have been so many articles like this, but they're all on drop site. They're all on independent outlets.